My name is Oleksii Soldatov, and I was born in Ukraine in 1987, Soviet Union days still, in a beautiful town called Odessa. It's on the southern part of Ukraine, the seaport town, really beautiful.
My name is Lev Adamov, and I was born in Russia, St. Petersburg, in 1982, when the city was called Leningrad, and actually the country was called Soviet Union, which, on some of my documents it still says that, but it doesn't exist anymore. So I left Russia when I was 12, when my mother met a man from Boston, from the United States, and I think they met when I was 11, but when I was 12, she decided that, I guess they were in love, and that we were going to move to the States. So I moved together with my mother, and my grandparents stayed behind, but it was 95, it was February of 95.
I've just been talking to these chickens over here, but now I'll be talking to you. Yes, you. I'm standing here on the rooftop of PAKT, an old industrial site in Antwerp. And it's a very special place, as you can see. This is actually the biggest collective farm in Flanders, and who knows, perhaps even in the universe. It will be the background for a new project called The Dialogues, and these dialogues will happen between artists from different ethnic backgrounds, hailing from countries or areas that are in conflict with each other. And here on this roof they collaborate in a new creative project in which they try to overcome all the problems and all the nasty things happening down there on the ground over here, but also in their countries. So let's not wait any longer and let's go and see who we have with us. So this is a 300-year-old violin.
Okay, a little bit less than 300.
Okay, almost
250, actually exactly 250, from 1773.
16 years older than the French Revolution. Is it Russian?
Beautiful.
No. The most special violins are Italian.
And what is so special about this violin?
Well, I mean, other than it's quite beautiful and unique and in good condition after 250 years. The sound. I mean, you play a few notes and you feel like it's like a balsam for your heart. It's really the depth, the tenderness, the huge, powerful sound. All these things.
It's like holding history in your hands, touching history almost.
It is, yeah.
But your instrument is very recent. But does it also have this big sentimental value for you?
In my case, I'm really obsessed with this music. For me, yes, of course, got lots of value, and the reeds and the voices are also old, made in Kirovsk, the Russian city, and for Georgian musicians, it's really special voices. So inside, I got this really old sound, but how do you call it? This box itself, it's made like 3 years ago by the master craftsman Zura Varshanidze in Batumi, southern capital of Georgia. I started to play music around 7 years ago. The thing is, before that, for almost 12 years, I was a part of the Georgian ensemble in Odessa, like Georgian National Folk Ensemble. It's something to do with Georgian folklore, dancing. Still quite don't understand how it happened, but yeah, I used to dance, and we've been on tour, and I used to be a solo dancer there back in the days, and It used to be a huge Georgian community in Odessa. And afterwards, yeah, these years passed by, and I still got this, I don't know, this addiction. It's like, I don't know, like drug addiction or something. This music is still, I'm full of this music. So I started to play a bit of Georgian traditional string instrument. It's called panduri. Basically, it's like balalaika, just 3 nylon string thing, kind of simple to play. And afterwards, I was into it more, and I decided to get myself this Georgian garmon, accordion. Yeah. So, and the Georgia, the country and the people itself, they've kind of been really overgifted, in my opinion. Everyone is singing there. So the square, everyone got the skill of the square and polyphonic singing in their blood from the very beginning. It's really, really like in a matter of, you know, this typical domestic situation in a kitchen, so everyone can just support each other and start to make this chants and choir things. Really amazing. So the nation is really overgifted.
I got involved with music very early on. My mother was a big classical music fan. So actually she had been to many premieres and concerts of like relatively forbidden music. I mean, it was still performed in big halls, but to an audience of like 3 people. And, you know, some Schnittke premieres well, because she was involved, you know, I was a little kid and she signed me up for some kind of like singing, dancing classes for, you know, 2 or 3 or whatever. And when I was singing one of these little children's choirs, I liked it a lot. And the teachers, it was a kind of a system like academies here. So it's just like a very relaxed level. But the teachers were great. They were from the Mariinsky Theater. There was, I think, a baritone and a tenor. And so they were really high-level musicians. And they noticed that I had a very good pitch, that I could like give the first note for the choir to start. And they're like, ah, this guy has, it's called perfect pitch. And yeah, we're gonna help him train it. And, you know. So they tortured me a little bit, you know, making me hear first 1 note, then 2 notes, and like whole chords that I had to recognize and by note. And my great-grandfather was a professional violinist and a violist in the Mariinsky Theater. In fact, before the Mariinsky, before the 1917 revolution, he was in the Tsar's kind of army band. It was like an army orchestra so my mother thought, oh, okay, if he has such a good ear, he should do violin in the footsteps of his great-grandfather. So that's kind of how I started. But
So it's 2 different ways of working, but you discussed a method to work together now, and what's going to happen.
So I think that the easiest way to come up with something to begin with is to that I'm going to pick up some of the folk melodies and folk songs that he's playing, and write down for myself a few melodies based on that, so that we can get the musical process going. And then we're going to see if if we manage to make one piece the other way around. So it's already a written piece by Prokofiev that I really like. It's just a few lines of music that for me have some kind of a deeper significance. And we already tried to improvise with it a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think if we pick the right chords and give it a sort of a more authentic folk feel.
So are you guys ready to play for us a little bit now?
Yeah, of course, definitely.
always ready.
Okay. I understand. So actually, it's kind of the first one. I think I get it. Let's do it.
In the beginning of February 2022, me and my former ex-wife, Russian ex-wife, we just came to Moscow, and till the moment of February 24, when the war started and all this mess started. And apart from that, our marriage went downhill, and everything went completely bonkers. We tried to restore it somehow, but unfortunately we didn't succeed. And after that, a friend of mine, he was living in Antwerp back then already, like for a couple of months. And before that, he used to live in Germany, but he was calling me since the first day of the war and forcing me to leave the country. And everything went really dangerous and nasty there in Moscow, like all the swastikas and banners all over the place, police and security checks. So on the 10th of May, I just get myself on a bus and went to Lithuania. And went to Lithuania, spent some time in a refugee camp there. And after that, on the 10th of May, I ended up in Antwerp. Here I am. Honestly, despite all the tragic and all the nightmare that me and my nation, whole Ukraine, and those who've been affected, and those who've been suffering and experienced through this year, I can honestly say that it was also an amazing year. I met lots of wonderful people here. Honestly, and my parents been to Antwerp and to Belgium before, but I've always been thinking that Belgium is like super expensive country and a bit strict, a bit like Germany or Austria, and everyone is super strict. So I was like, oh, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. But afterwards, oh my God, Antwerp. I don't know, should I say it's a really good place? Otherwise, everyone will start to flood in. So the place is not good. I love this place, I love these people. These people are amazing, to be honest. Super diverse, super multicultural, super friendly environment. Everyone is so hearty. I don't know, just amazing people. I can imagine myself without Antwerp anymore. Honestly, it's just a place.
Just when the war started and the first Ukrainian refugees, it was kids that were coming here. The school of my son accepted a couple of Ukrainian kids, and I was just waiting to pick him up. And I asked the director, or the assistant director who was at the door, like, how are you dealing with the Ukrainian kids? Because does anybody translate for them? Or yeah, we're still using iPads. And I said, I could help translate if you're having problems. He was like, you're Ukrainian? I said, no, I'm Russian. But a good Russian. And I thought, oh my God, that's, suddenly I was put into this category of kind of this big evil, which I felt always so far away from.
Just out of curiosity, which language do you guys speak with each other?
Actually, Russian.
You speak
We
Russian?
speak Russian.
Okay.
Yeah, speak Russian.
And because you're Russian, you're Ukrainian, can you hear from his accent that he's from Ukraine?
No, from his accent, I couldn't tell that he's Ukrainian.
I don't know, it's hard to tell.
Also, I haven't lived in Russia since I'm 12.
Okay.
I mean, what I hear from friends if I go back, I go back from time to time, not recently, but that I have a different intonation. So it's not really an accent, but the way I build sentences.
Western twist.
It's more singing. I don't know.
I'll get out of the way.
А сыграй мне ля.
Кого?
Ля. Да, типа ре минор такой.
Ты дал?
Может быть аккорд, тогда я сразу. Но ре минор вот это. Кажется, ниже в этот раз, чем было. Может быть, что каждый раз она... Нет?
project, the dialogues itself, it's an artistic project for peace. I'm certainly sure in it. It's the right name and the right idea behind it. Yeah, the artists for peace. The dialogues, yeah. Everything starts from dialogues, right? All the misunderstandings. Sooner or later.
It's hopefully the dialogue
in
Russia and Ukraine will start soon also, or
yeah, hopefully there will be a miracle. Where in the PAKT it's like a UFO landing site, right? So maybe with the appearance of some extraterrestrials, hopefully they will settle it down, because I don't know how it's possible to settle it down, or some negotiations and dialogues. I don't know, just a miracle.
For me, making music together with Oleksii is it's also a bit of a catharsis that he would accept me, and his love for Tchaikovsky, you know, it's very moving, and he, you know, I don't know how he said it, but basically to him it seems crazy to cancel something that is universally beautiful and is music that transcends like political movements, or, you know.
Yeah, I got some expectations, just maybe from my side, right? That I'll be able to put some light or some honest perspective, of course, from my lighthouse or my tower of my experience in my life on this situation, you know. Maybe just someone will be more milder or softer in some aspects. You see, it's a bit tricky in general. It's like being this EOD, explosive expert, because nowadays these wounds are still open and bleeding. Especially, we didn't start the fire, you know, this really nice song they've been singing about the Belgians, by the way, in the Congo. I really like this part. I've been listening to this song for ages, but the thing is that we didn't start this fire, you know, in Ukraine. The aggression was from the Russian side. They started this. But I just wish it would never happen. It's a disaster and total nightmare, really.
So I feel like I'm pretty young, but I still feel like the events from 100 years ago, which I didn't live through, but I feel like they were still very current. This is still, 20th century is still modern history. And for it to repeat in such a way, yeah, I still feel like it's a crime, and it's just stupid.
То есть мы как бы идем туда. После вас, маэстро. Главное, походочка.
So guys, you've been working on this project in Antwerp, in the center of Antwerp, but you wouldn't say that we're in the city, because we're on the roof of PAKT, on this beautiful farm, a very peaceful and quiet place, an oasis in the city. You think this influenced the way you worked on your dialogue?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's great to work on a peace project in a peaceful place, and playing outside is a different experience. It's much more relaxed, much more free, natural. You don't have the confines of a room. It's not so formal.
Yeah.
Did you find rest here?
Complete rest, really peaceful here, and all those farmers, this ambient, chill vibe. I love it. And you can play like really loud here, and there's really nice echo, and instruments behaving a bit different.
Yeah, we discussed this the last time.
Yeah, we did.
When I asked you if you could play something we're at a UFO airport, basically here on the roof of PAKT. What if aliens would come here? What would you play for them? And then you said the Nutcracker.
Yeah, something from Nutcracker will be fine. Something
Yeah.
calm and chill, to let them know at least that not everyone on this planet involved in this bloody mess. You know, there is some peaceful lads here, or I don't know.
I mean, I'm not really answering your question. It's just to show that there are people who don't want to just kill each other, but actually want to make beautiful things together. I mean, that's a nice one.
Yeah, only hope, music, love and peace.
Welkom bij de eerste editie van de dialogen, de dialogues. Een initiatief van Wanderworks, VZ2, met de steun van Pax Christi, de European Creative Rooftop Network en Creative Europe. Het idee van deze dialogen is dat er 1 keer per jaar 2 kunstenaars die weliswaar in Antwerpen wonen, maar afkomstig zijn uit landen, gebieden of vanuit culturen elders in de wereld die met elkaar in conflict zijn. En dat er dus zo ieder jaar 2 kunstenaars hier boven ons op deze dakboerderij, voor mensen die dat niet weten, velen weten het, die hier zijn, maar anderen misschien niet. Er is een dakboerderij van 1800 vierkante meter, dat zij daar samen komen werken aan een nieuw project dat de oorlog in hun thuislanden overstijgt. Een project van vrede, een project van verbinding. En daar kunnen we natuurlijk niet tegen zijn, integendeel. We gaan nu kijken en luisteren naar Lev Adamov en Oleksii Soldatov. En ik zou zeggen, geef ze geen warmer, maar het warmst mogelijke applaus. Veel plezier en tot straks. Kunnen dit soort culturele projecten een impact hebben?
Ja, je mag dat woordje kunnen weglaten. Hè?
Okay.
Het heeft een impact, absoluut. Als ik met mensen spreek in Rusland, ook zelfs nog voor de oorlog of in Belarus, in Wit-Rusland. En nu in Oekraïne denk ik dat... dat denk ik, moet ik ook weglaten. Weet ik dat kunst effectief soms het enige is dat er nog is om zonder gevaar voor allerlei repressiemogelijkheden of wantrouwen dat mensen toch ten opzichte van elkaar hebben, is kunst vaak het enige wat raakt en wat mensen verbindt en wat een veilige omgeving kan geven.
Is there anything you would still like to say to the viewers?
There is always light in the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. That's good.
In every aspect of this world, I think we shouldn't give up. There is always hope. There is always light in the end of the tunnel. There is always solutions. I mean, we should watch this movie till the end. I mean, let's see it till the end with all the bad things, villains, and other stuff. Life is beautiful. I mean, lots of beautiful people. Lots of beautiful
Our glasses are empty, but we should drink to this. So maybe it's time to go to the bar, have a refill, and drink to that.
Yeah.
Life
drink
is
to-
beautiful. Yeah.
And let's make music, not war, right? Is that the
music,
message?
not war. There's always hope. There's always ups. After
Alright.
downs, 3 ups for 1 down.
Let's go to the bar and drink to that.
All right.
Goodbye.